We're going to talk about a massive subdivision in West County that goes from Chesterfield to Wildwood. It's so big, it goes between two different towns. If you're moving to the Chesterfield-Wildwood area, you've probably seen several houses for sale in Wild Horse Parkway. It's beautiful. You got a bunch of options within here. So in this video, we're going to talk about the community, the neighborhood, the houses you'll see, and what you want to know if you're moving to Chesterfield, Wildwood, maybe Wild Horse Parkway. We're getting after it in this video. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name's Jacob. So Wild Horse Parkway, huge subdivision in Chesterfield. It actually crosses into Wildwood. It's so big. It just goes all the way back. There's over 1,000 homes. Now the whole subdivision was built between 25 and 30 years ago. So it's not a brand new development, but I mean, my partner Madison and I were talking last week and we had some clients asking about it who were moving here. And I was like, you know what? This could be a video. I could make a video on it. Which, hey, by the way, if you're moving to St. Louis, whether it's Chesterfield, Wildwood, anywhere else, if you want help buying a house, buying a condo, new construction, whatever that looks like, send us an email, send us a text. My team and I are licensed realtors. We'd love to work with you if you want. No pressure, up to you, but we'd love to help you if it's a relocation to St. Louis, if you're moving locally, whatever it is, that is exactly what we're here for. So Wild Horse Parkway, beautiful, it is huge. There's not really anything that makes it unique compared to other subdivisions in Chesterfield. It's just massive. Really, anything in Wild Horse Parkway tends to go between $550,000 and $1.5 million. It's a huge community. You got a lot of different styles of houses, different price points, different stuff to choose from, because really it's like a collection of a bunch of, mini neighborhoods that come together, and that's Wild Horse Parkway. So it's kind of like a neighborhood in itself because, I mean, it's not a through street, you just go all the way to the end. You got the big entrance, and then you have lots of mini neighborhoods that stem off of it. A lot of these kind of stately looking brick houses, you'll see some atrium ranches, 1.5 story, 2-story, whatever your preference, you have a lot to pick from within Wild Horse Parkway. So it's like 25 years old. It's not a new construction neighborhood. You are right next to a couple big new construction areas in Chesterfield, but Wild Horse Parkway is much more of an established, more mature community. Between 20 and 30 years old is when, most of these places were built in the 1990s, so that's kind of the age range you'll see. Some of them will be a little dated if they're like 30 years old, but some of the ones you'll see on the market have been updated, they've been well maintained, like renovated. I mean, it's funny, you can drive through and, a lot of these are brick homes, but a lot of them were built with that red or the tan or the kind of brown brick back in the day. And then what you'll notice now if you drive through is that they're starting to get painted white or kind of one of those like washed white brick styles. They'll add the black shutters. And it's funny, every time I drive through here, sometimes I'll see, a house sells and then they paint the red brick white. They got the black shutters. I'm like, oh, there goes another one with the modern farmhouse style. That's what you'll start seeing just because, it's a 30-year-old neighborhood. They're kind of, updating the houses as they're selling nowadays. And if they really want to bring it together for some of these places, since they're like 25, 30 years old, if the roof is original, it's going to need a new roof anyway. So people are replacing the roofs and, having it match the rest of the house once they paint it white. It's a beautiful neighborhood. The homes are gorgeous, very friendly community. And I mean, for the summertime, you have 3 different community pools to pick from in the subdivision. You got tennis courts, you have these mini lakes, you have walking trails. It's just a very nice, more established community compared to some of the new construction going up all around Chesterfield. Like I said, between 500 and 1.5 million is for the whole neighborhood, but I would say realistically, a lot happens between 700 and 1 million for most houses in Wild Horse Parkway. Most of the neighborhoods in here have HOA dues of about $1,000 a year. Some of them are lower, some of them are higher. The most I've seen was between $800 a year and $1,400 just for HOA dues. Wild Horse Parkway is beautiful. It's a gorgeous neighborhood. It's just big. Like it's deep. Like if you take Wild Horse Parkway by turning off Wild Horse Creek Road, you can just go like all the way back deep into the subdivision. One of the first houses I ever showed here back when I was getting into real estate was literally like the last house at the end of the neighborhood on the cul-de-sac. I swear it took me like 10 minutes to go from the entrance to the end of the neighborhood. probably more like 5 minutes, but it felt like 10 because I think that was the first time I had ever driven into that neighborhood. I was overwhelmed, I was lost. The clients ended up not liking the house. I'm like, great, how do we get out of here now? Wild Horse Parkway is probably one of my favorites just because this strip along Wild Horse Creek Road is beautiful. You just have a lot of these gorgeous neighborhoods. Wild Horse Parkway is just a very big one. You got some new construction going up, looking out right over Chesterfield Valley because you're up on Wild Horse Creek Road. You drive down Wild Horse Creek Road, you're looking out over the airport, the valley, you're 5 minutes away from the outlet malls, the strip malls, the district, Top Golf. There's just a lot going on in this part of Chesterfield. And you just got a lot of other beautiful neighborhoods all along here on Wild Horse Creek Road. Burr Oaks, brand new, Greystone, massive houses in there. Now you do cross into Wildwood from Chesterfield if you keep driving down Wild Horse Parkway. So the subdivision is kind of split between Chesterfield and Wildwood, but the schools are all the same regardless of where you live. So you might live in Chesterfield and house next to you might live in Wildwood, but your kids are always going to go to the same schools because the entire subdivision has the same elementary, middle, and high school, which is Lafayette. Because even though it's Chesterfield and Wildwood, it's still the same schools in this part of town. And if you like the style of Wild Horse Parkway, it's pretty representative of a lot of other neighborhoods in Chesterfield, so a lot of others along Wild Horse Creek Road. This is on kind of the newer side of Chesterfield in zip code 63005. Even if the houses are 25 years old, it's still newer than the 63017 side of Chesterfield. So towards the west is where you will typically see bigger homes, and even if they're 25 years old, they're going to be bigger than the homes in 63017. And 63005 is also where you have all the new construction, new development, a lot of stuff going on in Chesterfield, both for residential and commercial space. There's a lot in the works in Chesterfield. And then you have 64 going right along the valley. So you got several on-ramps and off-ramps to choose from. If you got to go into downtown for work or go to Clayton, catch a ball game, anything like that. Chesterfield's like, 25, 30 minutes away, which is doable. Like I live in Chesterfield, it's not that bad, but it's not the closest to the city of St. Louis. And traffic's usually not that bad as long as it's not during rush hour. Chesterfield is so underrated. The valley is so underrated. Like I'll talk to people in like Ladue, Frontenac, like Central County because they're closer to the city. And it's like, oh, Chesterfield. It's like, yeah, Chesterfield, my favorite place. Top Golf, right down the street. The outlets, right down the street. That is the only Top Golf I've ever been to. And I've probably been there like 50 times. Love it. My favorite place. I do not golf, but I Top Golf. I can do that. So hey, if you're moving to St. Louis, Chesterfield, Wildwood, anywhere, if you want help buying a house, buying a condo, making that move, that is what we're here for. Send us an email, send us a text. If you want, if these videos are helpful, I hope so, but feel free to let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.